Straight from the Bulldog Studios at Bryant University, this is the Bryant News Broadcast. Featuring Todd Stewart, Sarah Larrabee, Nolan Thompson with the weather, Chad Sabo with sports, and Dana Arenik with the Bryant Update. This episode is brought to you by the Media Production Club.
Peter, where are we?
I don't know, Lois.
Are we supposed to give the news?
Am I Tom Tucker?
No, you're Peter, my husband.
Maybe we do need to do the news.
Okay. Peter, Meg is gonna be going to college soon, and it's gonna be real expensive.
Well, Meg can't get into college.
Peter, that's your daughter. The average college student graduates with over $24,000 of loan debt. But President Obama has announced a new pay-as-you-earn program that will allow students to consolidate old and new loans with 0.5% drop in interest rates. This will lower monthly payments after graduation and decrease the chance of default. I think we may be able to get Meg into college after all if you quit your drinking.
How about this? If George Bush had Dick Cheney's first name, it'd be Dick Bush. I tell you, I'd listen to a lot more of his speeches. Dick Bush. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are finally getting back together after another movie after their big hit, their previous movie, Good Will Hunting, which, by the way, my favorite part is when Ben tells the story about his uncle, comes home wasted, steals a cop car. Great. But now, then we'll be getting back together and create another masterpiece. This time, Ben will direct and Matt will be the star. And the storyline for this crime, oh baby, Boss Whitey Bulger, oh. Well, you'll find out more, so stay tuned for Bryant News Broadcast for more updates about this movie.
Now what?
Do we banter?
What's the weatherman? What's the crazy weatherman?
I don't know, let's send this over to Ollie. Ollie?
It's snowing sideways, Lois!
Thanks, Ollie. And now over to my favorite doggy, Bryant with sports.
Thanks, Lois. I'm still in love with you. But on to college football now. The number 1 LSU Tigers and the number 2 Alabama Tide are hogging the spotlight for an epic matchup coming up next weekend. But there are other great games as well this weekend. The Kansas State Wildcats and the Oklahoma Sooners will be a wild one. The Wildcats are unexpectedly undefeated, and Oklahoma are no longer undefeated, losing a heartbreaker to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We'll see if the Wildcats can handle the spotlight against Oklahoma. Joe Paterno won his 408th game last week to tie Eddie Robinson for the most in Division I history. He has 2 national championships and probably got ripped off for at least 2 more, and is one of the most enduring and iconic figures in all of sports. How in the world can his team have just a single loss to Alabama and go completely unnoticed? Penn State should take care of Illinois this weekend. Does USC have the ability to upset Stanford? The number 6 Stanford Cardinals will be going for their 16th consecutive victory against Saturday's trip against USC. The Trojans will have to slow down Stanford's running game, which ran for a school record of 446 yards in last week's 665-21 rout of Washington. The Trojans will need another big game from receiver Robert Woods, who had 12 catches for 224 yards with 3 touchdowns in last season's 37-35 loss to Stanford. USC quarterback Matt Barkley has thrown 9 touchdowns with only 1 interception during a 3-game winning streak. This is going to be the most exciting weekend college football has had to offer this season so far. Back to you, Lois.
What the hell? Why am I here? How dare you dress me up in this insufferable shirt and tie? I say this is child abuse. I have had the mind to notify the authorities while you're trying to turn me into some kind of child star. Well, I'll have none of it. The camera is already going. What the deuce are you getting on about? Oh. Well, I say I've gone and made a rather fool of myself, haven't I? Well, all right. Top news for tonight. Good news coming out of Brussels as European leaders gathered there have taken a major step in dealing with the euro crisis. In a joint aggression agreement made earlier this Thursday, they have agreed upon a 3-pronged deal, which aims to retool the Eurozone underpowered bailout fund, increasing it from 440 billion euro to well over 1 trillion, calls on banks to take 50% losses on all their Greek bonds, as well as lowering the Greek debt from 180% of their economical output to 120%, and pushes for the euro-based countries to raise €106 billion worth of new capital by June of next year. While the purpose plan does not immediately solve the crisis, it does give European leaders a good portion of time and breathing room and allows other European countries that are in danger of following Greece, such as Italy and Spain, opportunities to revitalize and improve their own economic standings. This plan, as one of the first major steps forward in dealing with the crisis, which broke out almost 2 years ago, when Greece announced that its economic standing was far worse than previously reported. This in turn led to a collapse in the euro-based banks and markets and succeeded in collapsing the independent economies of Ireland, Portugal, and of course Greece. European financial ministers will work out these terms of the new agreement sometime in November, but already there is some doubt as to how effective these reforms will be. Well, I say that wasn't that hard. Well, I'm out of time. Very well, I suppose we'll give it back to that insufferable nag and the fat man.
Hey everybody, I hope you're excited and ready for Halloween. I have some great tips to ensure a better night. First, always wear a mask to protect your face from objects that will be thrown at you. Plus, boys won't be able to see you, so you have a better chance of actually talking to them. Then, also be sure to stand by ugly people so you look less ugly. It definitely works. You know what? This is so stupid. I can't handle this. Like, no one likes me. I'm never gonna get a boyfriend. I have no friends. I just hate my life. This is so stupid. I just don't know how to get this off of me. Get this camera out of my face. Someone please turn this thing off.
Oh my God, Meg, just shut up, okay? Just shut up. You're not gonna get a boyfriend anyway, okay? This just in. Stop the texts and stop the wrecks. A new public service advising campaign has been launched into our lovely state of Rhode Island, home of the best beer and best porn there is. To stop the use of texting while driving, these PSAs were developed due to the gigantic percentage of young adults who claim that they read a text while driving. 82%, that is. Within the campaign, PSAs will be broadcasted on the TV and radio as well as through several social media outlets, such as Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
When I went to Stop and Shop to grab dinner last night, I noticed something very different.
What's that, Lois?
Well, now I can use my iPhone and bag my groceries as I shop. It's a new app for the iPhone and Android and has expanded to over 42 stores in our area. I can even get coupons, like 10 per trip, and save up to $500 a year.
So what's for dinner tonight, Lois? Because we as Americans should only buy American products. And last time I checked, that cuts it down to porn and cheeseburgers.
Oh, Peter. Well, wouldn't you like to know? I'm having the girls over, and we're gonna have ladies' night.
So how do you think we did, Lois?
Peter, I don't think you should quit your day job.
Yeah. Tom Tucker. Tom Tucker. Tom Tucker.
Peter, that's enough.
Right.
Peter.
Okay.
Peter. So we'll see you here next week. Check us out on YouTube, MPC Bryant. Have a good night.
Sexy time.